Welcome back. There's one more key ingredient that Manfi highlights: respect. But it's not just about respecting authority figures or following the rules.
Yeah.
It's about respecting yourself and the work that you do, no matter what it is.
I remember this great example he uses from the movie Coming to America. It's about Prince Akeem, who comes to America to find a wife, but ends up finding fulfillment in working as a janitor.
Right. He approaches his work with dignity and respect, and in doing so, he earns the respect of others. It's about finding that sense of purpose and fulfillment in whatever you do, even if it's not your dream job.
It's about bringing your best to every task, no matter how small or insignificant it might seem, and recognizing that every experience, even the challenging ones, can be an opportunity for growth.
That's a great way to put it. It's about seeing the value in every step of the journey, not just focusing on the destination.
Okay, so we've got anger, courage, faith, a positive attitude, resilience, prayer, trust, and respect. That's pretty powerful combination of fuels to power our race. But how do we actually put all of this into practice? How do we take these abstract concepts and turn them into tangible actions that make a difference in our everyday lives?
That's a great question, and I think that's where the real magic of this book lies.
Mm.
But to really dive into that, we need to move on to the final part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we've covered a lot in this deep dive talking about the different kinds of fuel for this race of life, like channeling anger, finding courage, leaning into faith, and even, that whole idea that mistakes can lead to unexpected blessings.
Right.
But let's get practical now. How do we actually apply all this wisdom from fuel for the race to our own lives?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think this book really does a great job of making it practical. It all starts with self-reflection. Manfi really encourages you to ask yourself, what kind of fuel am I running on right now?
So it's like taking inventory
Yeah,
of your emotional and spiritual state.
exactly.
Are you fueled by fear or doubt, resentment?
Right.
Or are you drawing energy from, faith, hope, a desire to make a difference?
Exactly. And once you've identified, those primary fuels,
Yeah.
you can start making, conscious choices to shift towards the more empowering ones.
Okay.
It might involve challenging, negative thought patterns,
Mhm.
or setting healthier boundaries,
Right.
or spending more time in prayer and reflection.
So it's not about being perfect.
No.
Or, some kind of causative robot. It's about recognizing those less than ideal
Yeah.
fuels and then
Yeah.
making changes.
Right. It's about awareness
Yeah.
and then making intentional choices.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
The book also emphasizes the importance of identifying your strengths and passions.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Like, what are you naturally good at?
Yeah.
What lights you up inside?
It's so easy to get caught up in what we should be doing or what other people expect of us.
Totally.
But this book's like, no, get back to your gifts.
It is. It's about aligning your actions with your purpose.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out,
Yeah.
Right now, it's a journey.
Mm.
It's about experimenting,
Mm-hmm.
trying new things,
Nope them. Yeah.
and being open to where your passions might lead you.
Totally. It's like giving yourself permission to explore, to be curious, and to not be afraid of making mistakes along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hey, we've already learned sometimes mistakes can lead to amazing things.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've talked about self-reflection. We've talked about getting back to your gifts and talents and not being afraid to try new things.
Right.
And I think another thing is community, right?
Yeah. The book highlights that, the importance of surrounding yourself with people who support and encourage you.
It's like having your own personal pit crew.
Exactly.
They're cheering you on and they're helping you refuel
Yes.
when you're feeling depleted.
Yeah, absolutely. Those relationships can make all the difference.
Yeah. So find those people that inspire you.
Yeah. Mentors, friends,
Yeah.
family members.
Yeah. People that believe in your potential and want to see you grow and challenge you to grow.
Absolutely.
Speaking of support and inspiration, the book also has some great advice on prayer.
Yes, it does.
It's not just about, going to God with a list of demands.
Right.
It's about cultivating that two-way conversation.
I love how Manfi really encourages you to make prayer a regular part of your daily routine.
Yeah.
It's like checking in with your coach,
Mhm.
sharing your wins and your struggles, and being open to receiving guidance.
And it doesn't have to be this formal thing.
No, not at all.
It could be as simple as, talking to God while you're walking the dog or doing the dishes or stuck in traffic.
Yeah, finding those moments to connect,
Yeah.
to express gratitude, and seek his wisdom.
And to remember that it is a two-way conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
To be open to hearing God's response, which may come in unexpected ways.
Right, a sudden insight or a chance encounter, or just a feeling of peace that washes over you.
This is making me think about that whole idea of unintentional release of blessing again. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe God's answer to our prayers sometimes comes in a form we don't expect.
The detour or challenge
Yeah.
we didn't see coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's about surrendering to his plan, even when we don't understand it,
Yeah,
and trusting that he's working things out for our good.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And sometimes the best way to fuel our own race is to help others along the way.
Oh, that's so true.
The book talks about, serving others, using your gifts and talents to make a positive impact.
And it doesn't have to be anything huge,
No.
right? It could be just like a kind word or lending a helping hand or volunteering your time.
Absolutely.
It's about recognizing we're all in this together, and even small acts of kindness can make a difference.
And, the beautiful thing is serving others not only blesses those around us, but it fills our own cups. It brings that sense of purpose that no amount of material success can replicate.
So true. So as we wrap up our deep dive into Fuel for the Race, I think the key takeaway is that it's not about being perfect in this race of life.
Right.
It's about showing up.
Yeah.
Choosing the right fuel for the journey
It's
and
truly.
trusting that God is with us every step of the way.
And remember, the race of life is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
There will be times when you stumble, when you feel lost or discouraged.
Yeah.
But as long as you keep moving forward,
Keep going.
one step at a time, fueled by faith and that desire to make a difference,
Right.
you'll reach your destination.
And the journey is just as important as the destination.
It is.
So embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and never stop seeking that spiritual fuel that keeps us running strong. We
Yeah.
hope this deep dive has given you some practical tools and inspiration
Yeah.
to fuel your own race. You've got everything you need to succeed. Now go out there and make your mark on the wall.